Hi guys and welcome back to another podcast. It's Dan here from sportscardsuk, and in today's podcast or video, depending on how you're watching this, whether you're listening to it on the Spotify or iTunes or whether you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. Today's topic is going to be, what are your unpopular opinions about the hobby? So I asked everyone on Instagram, what are your unpopular opinions on the hobby? And we're going to read out some of your answers and give my opinions on those answers. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the podcast. Okay, so starting us off, we have Ben B 1117. Don't go all in on rookies after one season. Don't know if this is unpopular though. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I guess it does depend in what sport. You've got NFL and you've got American football. So you've got NFL and you've got American football and NFL. You've got American football and you've got basketball, both with draft systems. So you can watch them through college. You can kind of get an idea of how good that player is going through college. Some people, number one picks do flop. It has happened before. Trying to think of one. Maybe like Markelle Fultz never was going to be, or never turned out to be the player that everyone thought he would be. Starberry maybe another one that was like supposed to be the next best thing, and he was good, but it just didn't. He wasn't the guy. So yeah, I kind of do. I definitely do agree. I wouldn't go all in on rookies. I wouldn't go all in on modern at all. I would only really go all in on GOATs. And there's not that many GOATs that are currently playing. I mean, you've got Tom Brady, LeBron, I think you can, fair to say, Steph Curry, fair to say, KD, I know maybe someone like Aaron Rodgers. Ben Roethlisberger's just retired, but maybe I'm saying that as a kind of a biased Pittsburgh fan. But yeah, Mike Trout, sort of the Mookie Betts, these sorts of players that are playing at the moment, but are probably going to be considered, or definitely are going to be Hall of Famers, but are pretty much considered one, not the greatest, but one of the greatest of all time. I mean, I think Tom Brady is probably the greatest of all time, but that's kind of a bit of an anomaly. Whether you think LeBron is, yeah, I guess so. For me, I think it's still going to be Jordan, but I know a lot of people do make an argument for LeBron. But yeah, I wouldn't go all in on rookies. I think it's very, very dangerous to do that. Things like injuries can plague someone's career. So there's so many factors when you're betting on someone within the first season. It's a big risk. So I wouldn't go all in on really anything. I would try and spread your bets a little bit. Some people say stick to one sport. I don't necessarily agree with that. But if you don't watch any other sports at all, then yeah, maybe you should stick to one sport. But yeah, I like that. Gilby Cards says the hobby can seem cliquey at times, which can be intimidating to newcomers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I would probably need an example of that, but I think maybe that's fair. I guess if people are ganging up on people, or they're pushing an agenda or pushing a specific product, then potentially. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've witnessed that one, so I don't know if I can comment on that one personally. But maybe if you gave me an example, maybe I would agree with that one or disagree. Soccer_cards_ninja says 99% of card designs are ugly and totally kitsch. What does kitsch mean? An art objects or design considered to be in poor taste because of excessive garishness or sentimentality, but sometimes appreciated in an ironic or knowing way. The lava lamp is a bizarre example of 60s kitsch.
Kitsch.
Yeah, kitsch. Okay. Learned a new word there. I 100% would have to disagree. 99% of card designs are ugly. I mean, is hard to agree with. I think there's definitely sets that I prefer. I think something like Stadium Club Chrome for any sports, baseball, football, soccer, I don't agree with that. I think they're not ugly at all. I think Stadium Club Chrome take the best photos of players and make them into really, really great cards. So I think that's personally a set I like. Some of the 90s Skybox stuff I love. I do love the 90s stuff. What else do I like? Topps Finest. I like a lot of the Topps Finest designs. Select do quite nice designs as well. Parallels. Prism. I don't think Prism necessarily have the best designs, although they're the most respected in terms of basketball. Probably football, soccer now. The card designs aren't great. But yeah, I think 99% is maybe a little bit high. RH14 card says there's too much focus on the main leagues. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you mean for football soccer, and there's too much focus on Premier League, maybe Champions League, and teams that aren't in the Champions League that maybe have got Europa League, or that don't even meet either of those levels in terms of getting in the Champions League or the Europa League. I think that's fair, but then also if in the same way you're not going to get the respect for a very small team in the kind of the backyards of kind of nowhere if no one really knows who they are. So there's not going to be, I mean, where there's demand, there's going to be more card designs for that particular league, that sort of thing. So I don't think I agree with. Maybe I've misunderstood your point on that one, but I don't think I agree with you there. Sixpaths_card says breakers are ruining the hobby with bots and earlier access to general public. Ooh, I don't think. I'm disagreeing with a lot of these points. I disagree. I don't think breakers are ruining the hobby. I think breakers are a big part of the hobby. I think breaking is oversaturated. I think there's too many breakers popping up every now and then, or everyone wants to be a breaker. I will never personally do breaks. I think there are certain people that do breaks very, very well, and there's certain people that don't do breaks very, very well, and there's obviously scamming involved and whatever else. But I think the same with gambling. I think breaking is a little bit like gambling, but in the same way with gambling, I think it's up to you to control yourself. I think maybe there should be, like, when you can ban yourself from gambling shops, maybe there in the future we might see breakers be able to kind of ban people if people don't want to, if people have a problem with breaking and are able to message a breaker and say, please, if I ask to join a break, please ban me for 75 days or a year, or I don't know, however it works. But I don't think breakers are in the hobby. I think people that use bots, obviously it's always going to happen. I used to sell Supreme. I wasn't big into it. I've never used a bot in my life, and bots became a bit of a problem with that in terms of it was very, very difficult to be able to buy things, to be able to cop manually, as they would say, as the language was used, to cop manually. But yeah, I don't think breakers are in the hobby. I'd have to disagree. Bots, yes, I do agree with you. Bots are very difficult and very, very annoying. It's very hard to. I mean, Merlin 97 just released. Merlin 97 just released. It sold out within a minute, and I didn't even have a chance of getting that. But then other people, Northern Cards got a couple of boxes, LDN Cards got a couple of boxes, Trading Cards UK. So maybe I was just a little bit slower, or my page didn't load as quick. But some people were able to buy stuff manually, and they weren't. I can guarantee those guys weren't using bots. Early access to general public. I think there are breakers that do have early access. I know someone like UK Box Breaks does have. I think he definitely has a license with Panini. I don't know if he has a license with Topps. I'd assume so. But they are technically retailers, so they are going to get early access, and they would have gone through all the appropriate measures to sign up to have kind of retail access. But if you don't get in, I guess if breakers didn't exist, then more people would have access. But then also on the other hand, I think breakers are perfect for a product that is too expensive and maybe out of reach, but you can get in and maybe buy a couple of cards for at a cheaper price because they're splitting the cost through teams. Or you could do a pick your team if you only want Celtics cards, or if you only want Fulham cards, or whichever, you can get them pretty cheap. So for example, breaks have been perfect for me where I've needed Fulham parallels and I've needed Fulham cards for my Prism set. I don't want to buy a whole box of Prism, which is going to cost me a lot. Fulham are one of the cheap, or if not the cheapest team in the 2019 or 2020 to 2021 products. They're the cheapest team to buy. I think it's like, to enter in a break, it was like 6-8 quid, something like that. And I would get the Fulham parallels that I needed without having to buy a whole box and then end up selling all the cards and making a loss on it. So for that sort of reason, that's perfect for me. And as you know, I do loads of basketball breaks with BB Cards UK. Wrestling cards are underrated. Yeah, I do agree with that. Wrestling has got loads of good sets, Topps Chrome. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I do think wrestling is slightly underrated. And I think things like Rey Mysterio rookies, The Rock rookies, Stone Cold rookies, which I think actually all come out of the same set. They all have the same rookie, I believe. I think all of those are underrated, and I think will potentially go up, similar to what we saw with a kind of a golf rise. Sticker/base cards reproduced after 2018, except the Haaland rookie, will soon become worthless. I think things like the Panini the Panini Premier League football stickers or the Panini Champions League stickers I think will have value for certain players. Players like Haaland, Mbappe, like Mbappe in his Monaco jersey. Look how that's done. That's moved, but it's still worth a decent amount of money. The Haaland Champions League sticker is still worth a decent amount of money. Things like the Martinelli sticker from the Premier League, I think that will always still have decent value because that really is the true rookie. If it's a true rookie, I do think it will have some value, but they are printed in the absolute masses. So yeah, I don't think they're ever going to do stupid numbers unless, like with the Mbappe sticker, people weren't necessarily keeping the backs on the stickers. I think now it's a bit more obvious that people aren't sticking things in albums and are buying things to hold players. Breaking is predatory and should require licensing like gambling. I'm kind of on the fence about that. So breaking can be addicting in the way that gambling can be addicting, and breaking is technically gambling. Whether that happens, then I think we'll see the breakers that are decent breakers will get licenses if that ever becomes a thing. And I think the ones that are just breaking just to try and kind of get a piece of the action, I think those will sort of flutter off eventually. So I don't think breaking is predatory, though. I disagree with that. I think it's up to you as the individual to join the break, whether you want to or not. I know for some people it's difficult, and that's why I think maybe there should be ways to ban yourself from breaking if you do have a problem, but I don't necessarily think that breaking is predatory. Slapshot.dan says people who are in it purely for profit. I agree with you. I think the market's had a correction since those people have left. I think there are still people that are in it for profit, whether they're breakers or whether they're investors. But yeah, people that are in it purely for the profit, I think some of them will finish last because they don't watch sport or they're not interested. Others have capitalised, and that's life. O'Shea Sports Card says die cuts are trash. Okay. I'm on the fence about die cuts. I like them, but I don't love them. But I wouldn't call them trash. I don't have many die cuts. And I don't particularly like them in PSA cases. So yeah, maybe I'd agree with you that I don't like die cuts, especially. I don't necessarily think they're trash, though. But it's nice that do you know what? It's actually nice that I'm disagreeing with a lot of your points humbly. I'm not saying your points are wrong. I'm not saying your points are stupid. I completely understand where most of you are making these points, and I'm lightly disagreeing with some of them, but then some of them I am completely disagreeing with. But it's nice to hear your opinions, and it's actually nice that I don't disagree with all of them, because I think it would be rubbish if I went on here and went, yeah, I agree with that, yeah, I agree with that, yeah, I agree with that, because, yeah, it's important to be honest, I think. Soccer Card Sire says Premier League stickers will never be valuable because they're mass-produced. Yeah, I guess we discussed that point already, but that's two for that one. Football_card_maniac says it would be completely on time. It would be completely on time. Not quite sure what you mean by that. It would be completely on time. Oh, sorry, that's your second message. First message, the delays of Soccer Prism and Score is getting silly and ruining the hobby. If it was made in the UK, it would be completely on time. There we go. It was in two things because you ran out. Sorry. Yeah, I do agree with the delays. I'm personally, I've purchased Score. I'm still waiting for Score. I didn't buy Prism just because Fulham aren't in it, and I'm not really that bothered about the rookie class particularly. I'm sort of passing it by. I'm not really interested in collecting cards from other teams, and I'm not really interested in doing any set collections or anything like that. So I've missed Prism, and it's quite expensive as well. So I've missed Prism, but Score I am waiting on, yeah, and it is annoying that it's getting delayed. It doesn't make Panini look good. I like this one. Info_Matek_cards says, screaming, let's go. I didn't want to shout into the mic because I thought if someone's listening to this. After pulling a £2 card in a break should be outlawed. Yeah, I agree. I do think there's a difference between Americans and the British in that they are very animated and we are very much less so. I've had, and I know UK_cards sports_cards collector, I think it is. Anyway, Harry, the guy from the London Card Show, I'm crap with usernames, actually I will have it here because he messaged me. It's playing. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. It's literally going right over the flat. Wait for that to go by. Sounds like a propeller plane. UK_sports_card_collector. I might have got that right. I was talking to him and he pulled a Messi out of 10, I think it was, auto from the summer signing set, and he uploaded it to TikTok, and someone was like, people were writing sarky comments like, "Don't wake up the neighbours," and my gran had a better reaction than that. So I do think Americans are much more animated than we are. I think our reactions are probably somewhat understated. We've got J Davis 84 says Americans hyping up bang average US men's national team players, e.g. Pepe. Yeah, actually, at the recording of this video, Josh Sargent just scored 2 goals for Norwich last night, and against, I think, was it Watford, and I wasn't overly convinced on him, but he does look decent. Pepe, I'll kind of have to wait and see. I did say I agree with you on this point because I think the prices are absolutely ridiculous. There was some like 30k order for a Pepe auto. Buying those sorts of the players in the UK I think doesn't work, but buying the players overseas definitely does work. So I would say the price of Pulisic here is much lower than the price of Pulisic in the US, and I think that's because that he's got the whole Captain America thing. They're obsessed with supporting their own teams, so I think naturally there is going to be hype around the US men's national teams, but yeah, UK hype from US men's national team, I don't see it. I'm not convinced. Yeah, I know Pepe's now playing for Augsburg or Augsburg, whoever he's playing for, so he is out of the MLS now, but just be interested to see how he does. We've seen so many players come to the Prem and flop, so I guess it really depends on what league. Getting tops now, I mean, look at Sergino Dest. Look at the hype around him and look at where he is now, and he's not been performing at all. So 4 Sharp Corners UK says, getting tops or Panini's autos verified by grading companies, stop it now. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, if it's a sticker auto, I don't understand the auto grade. I really don't. I don't even know why that's a thing. But I've seen it. I've had it. I've mentioned on a podcast before. I've sold a Adam Lallana SGC card that had a 10 auto, and it was a sticker auto already authenticated by Topps. Really didn't understand it, but yeah, I get the auto grade, but not when it's a sticker. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And then Sophie M. Harris, shout out to you, my mate's girlfriend, says Chrome cards are overpriced, which, yeah, maybe is a fair point. I know a lot of people do like Topps Chrome, and it's seen as the premium over Topps. I know you're big into wrestling, so I can't speak too much on the price difference between wrestling because I'm not too clued up about wrestling, but yeah, fair comment. So there we go. That is my podcast on your unpopular opinions about the hobby. If you did enjoy this, I can definitely do more. I found a couple of forums which have got more unpopular opinions, so let me know down in the comments if you did enjoy it. If you did, I'll make sure I do another podcast. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, obviously do let me know. Drop a nice comment if you're on iTunes or Spotify. It does really help out. Make sure you subscribe on there as well and leave a nice review if you did enjoy it. And if you are on YouTube, if you're watching this, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video. It does really help out the channel. Hit that bell icon so that you don't miss a video, and I'll see you on the next Sports Cards UK podcast. Thanks very much.